Hi, it's Renée Stakey, and you're watching Xposed TV, brought to you by Stealth Productions.
Hi there, welcome to Xposed, brought to you by Stealth Productions. I'm Sarah, your host for this special interview. In the studios with me is the multi-talented singer, songwriter, actor, dancer, and model. She is also a one-time artist in focus on Xposed. She's a native New Yorker from the East End of Long Island. She is the versatile Renée Stakey. We're so thrilled to have you in Xposed, finally. Welcome.
Thank you, Sarah. It's great to be here.
Now, you work tirelessly on your career year after year. Do you still wear the numerous hats I've just mentioned?
I do. My primary focus is being a musician, a full-time musician, but I also am very excited about a company that I have that specializes in the production of EPKs, music videos, and radio and television ads, spots.
So you still have your hands full.
I do.
Now, do you ever say, this is just too stressful, I'll give up a few of the hats and just work on the rest?
Well, it can get stressful at times, but I like to focus on, take whatever project I'm working on and focus on that at the time and not, so I'm not feeling stressed. Okay. Because that just kind of clouds what I'm working on. So I stay focused on what I'm doing. Although I do a lot of different things, when I'm working on something, I try to work on only that at the time, complete it, and then I move on.
Okay. Now,
it makes it easier.
Definitely, anything that works. Now, do you perform in the Hamptons?
I do perform in the Hamptons. The Hamptons is my backyard, so you know, I love going back to where, you know, where my roots are, where I'm from. All my videos up until this point have been shot out there. The bulk of my performances, especially starting out, have been out in the Hamptons. And we're so lucky as New Yorkers, especially or a Long Islander personally, that I can go, you know, drive an hour and be in the city, and the Hamptons is my backyard, and the North Fork, where I grew up on a farm, it's just all there and so accessible. So I feel very lucky about that. So
it's very rounded.
it is.
So are there some places in the Hamptons that you prefer, that you frequent actually, and how can the audience find out a bit more about you?
As far as upcoming performances, fans can check out my website, reneestakey.com. And I also keep fans and friends up to date with my performances on the MySpace, which is myspace.com/Renée Stakey. So that's the best way to find out about what's kind of going on career-wise, whatever new material that I'm putting out or whatever upcoming events that I have. And as far as venues that I frequent, I guess the one venue that's kind of stood the test of time, the Hamptons, as far as the nightlife, has changed quite a bit since, over the past however many years. It's constantly changing with new ownerships, and the names of the place are changing. But the one venue that's really kind of stood around has been Neptune's, and I love performing there because it's a daytime thing. So I get to perform and under the summer sun, on the beach, in the day, and it's beautiful, and there's a breeze, and it's just great.
Yeah, especially for an artist.
Absolutely.
Your recent album is underway, or finished. How is that album different, or music different from your previous?
Well, up until this point, I've put out only dance singles. I've had several dance singles on several dance labels, but I am working on an album, 3 different albums, and one being in the pop genre, a second being in the liturgical religious genre, and the third for the Spanish market. So that reason being is because I lived it for a year in Ecuador as an exchange student, and there I learned the culture and I learned to speak Spanish. So, and I sang in a salsa band as well, so I definitely want to revisit that at some point and do something for the Spanish market. So.
All right, then you're covering every basis,
yeah.
And I think you're very talented, so you could do that.
Thank you.
So all the changes in the music genres, it's definitely had a positive impact on your life as well as your music.
Oh, absolutely. Everything that I do is a reflection of something that I've done in my life. Everything that I do musically is something that I've actually, been through. I've always been interested in pop music and dance music, so that's what I've been working on mostly now. But I've also been involved with the church since I was very young, and that's why I play the organ and I sing in churches even to this day. So that's why I definitely want to visit that area as well, by putting out an album at some point. And like I said, with the Spanish market, the Spanish album "Living Abroad," that's impacted my life. So I would like to put something out also in that genre.
Okay, make everybody happy.
Yeah. Well, and myself too. I try to be true to myself and the experiences that I've had, and whatever's impacted my life in a big way, and that's what I can speak from experience.
Now, for the audience, the youngsters, what's your view on music? I know you're very in touch with a lot of the genres. But what's your overall view of music for the youngsters to look up to music?
Right. I think music is a great way to express yourself, and it makes me feel fulfilled. So if I can touch people in what I do, youngsters, all ages alike, I feel grateful that I have touched somebody and that I'm speaking to somebody through my music, which is what ultimately I strive for as a musician and an artist.
Okay. Well, we thank you so very much for being on Xposed. Won't you come again when your next album is out?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Anyone you want to acknowledge?
Sure. I do want to first and foremost acknowledge my family and friends and my manager and partner, Freddie Esposito, the label that I'm on currently, John Cano, Taste the Jam. And one person in particular I'd like to thank as well is Vic Latino for all his support with my music. And thank you for having me here.
Sure.
I've enjoyed it so much.
Okay. We thank you for being on Xposed, and we look forward to seeing you again. And to our audience, we thank you for sticking with us throughout the interview. This is Xposed, another production by Stealth Productions.